All right, another really stupid title to me. Revenge is the Nuts. Yeah, I don't. What? That title's terrible. Okay, so this is a remake of the Blind Alley episode in Tales from the Crypt, the 70s movie from Amicus. So this one is inferior in mostly every way. I can't think of anything where I saw this as superior. And I'm so not one of those guys where I'm like, oh, the original is better and this, like, that's just not me. Like, if something's better, it's better to me personally. Opinions are always, of course, this is opinions. But I personally just thought literally everything was better in the original. In fact, so much to the point where I'm just like, eh. Like, whatever. We get freaking Isaac Hayes in here, Chef or Duke A number one in here, so that's kind of cool. He doesn't play a huge, substantial role. The villain in this is, instead of being like frugal, he's more of like a sexual predator, which is just kind of updated for the times. Tales from the Crypt later became more of shock value. The original films like that were just more classy. You know, they weren't going for the sadistic side of people's sexual urges and stuff like that. We just didn't get a lot of like rape and things of that nature. So this is just kind of ramped up for the 90s and trying to go more bold. And I don't know, it just felt cheaper in a way that this guy is just so obviously villainous. The other guy just, I don't know, he was so much almost like neurotic, and it didn't even feel like he was doing it to be like absolutely a dick. He just was, I don't know, that kind of like the man in the high castle. He's just this dude who's taking all the money and spending it on himself, and he's not really thinking about anyone else. And I'm not saying he's not a dick. He totally is a dick in the original, in the the 70s version. But I don't know, he has this demeanor about him that almost suggests that he's willfully ignoring like what he's doing. Maybe I don't know if he's completely unaware of his actions or mildly or whatever, but he seems at least okay with it. This guy is just straight up evil, so it's a much different spin on this character. Things are rushed more in this, which I don't feel like they should be that much different in time, but this one just felt more rushed. They also added in the fact that somebody who has sight is helping them out. And while that does make more sense logically, that they have somebody who can see to help them build this, freaking, oh, what do you want to call it? A gauntlet of sorts. That, as I said, that does make more sense logically, and I'm usually the more logical person, but I don't know, there was something so much cooler about and poetic, I suppose, about the blind people building this freaking obstacle course, this evil obstacle course for this man to have to pass through before his ultimate demise. So I don't know, like, there's just these changes. One thing I did like, I thought that was kind of neat, was they have a train that passes by. I think it was a train, something that rumbles it. It has to be a train. And he has to go through that razor, little narrow walkway to try to get to the other side to get out of there. And in the original, he was just like walking through as slow as he could and trying not to move and this and that. But with this one, they had the train come by and it was like rumbling it. It kind of reminded me of My Cousin Vinny. God, another amazing movie. I'm just going to point out an amazing film in every one of these. But yeah, it shakes him and it kind of like pushes him back and forth into the razors, which I thought was really cool. And then they threw in this kind of like unnecessary connection, plot line, through line, whatever, with this guy. The guy who has the sight is related to him and he works there, and it's just, I don't know, I felt so unnecessary to put this related character to the villain, and it was him getting back at it. Felt more like his vengeance than the blind people's vengeance, and they had much more to be vengeful over. and he helped them. I don't know. Like, I wanted this to be the blind person's story, like the blind people in this place's story, so much more than this family member who wants to get back at him, because that's what it at the end what it felt like to me. And I didn't like that. I loved that these blind people took him over. They drugged him. They put him down there. They put the dog in a room. They didn't feed it for a while. Then they let him loose in there, and they turned out the lights. And they did some of these things, but it was altered, and it was altered in a way that cheapened it for me personally. So whatever. I didn't like this one anywhere near as much. I think I said that enough. All right, let's move on.